Welcome back. It is Saturday, May 27th, and the MLB, our three favorite picks, are on the way. I'm Austin, joined by Logan. Let's recap yesterday. Solid winning day. We'll take it. 2-1. Aaron Judge and Lane Thomas both came through for the hit parlay. If you took them for 2+ bases, they did that as well. Lane Thomas hit a home run in his first at bat. Arno on first inning cashed again. That's now 2 in a row. Let's see if we can hit 3 in a row. Then Logan pick had the White Sox and Tigers under 8.5. You'd rather honestly lose by not even get close than them just getting on 9. But either way, we'll take a 2-1 day every single day. If we could do that every day, we would be super, super happy. But let's dive into our favorite picks. But first off, I talked about this yesterday. You can get a risk-free bet up to $1,000 on BetMGM every Wednesday and Saturday. They're handing out free bets left and right. I know a lot of you that already have a BetMGM account are getting those risk-free bets. But also, if you don't have one, make sure you use our link at the top of the description. There's no parlay of the day, so it's the top link in the description. You'll know where to find it if you want to sign up for BetMGM. It helps support the channel here. But Logan, I need a winner from you. It's Saturday. What you got for the kids?
I do need to redeem myself after that, but I did want to real quick wish my little brother a happy birthday. Happy birthday, Grant. Hopefully we can win some money for you today. And my first pick today, we're going to the Cubs versus Reds game, and I'm taking the Cubs -1.5 on the run line. +118 odds on Barstool's currently your best value in this one. Now, normally I don't take the -1.5 home run line. It's actually like one of my least favorite bets to take. But this one definitely sticks out to me because we know the Cubs have been terrible. They were terrible yesterday, at least. It left a lot of people, some bad taste in their mouth. Everyone and their mother had Cubs money line in their first leg of the parlay, right, sunk right off the bat. But I'm doing some line reading here, and I'm seeing that they're huge favorites with a major ERA pitcher discrepancy, right? Jamison Tyone starting for the Cubs. 8.1 ERA, 1.73 whip on the year. Those are nasty numbers for Tyone to start the season. But this line is indicative of a bounce back for Tyone because I think he's better, obviously, than an 8 ERA pitcher. Tyone only had 1 strikeout in each of his last 2 starts. Today, he faces a Reds team that's 24th in strikeouts. So they're a team that is liable to go swing and miss anytime, any day. And they were quite honestly really hot yesterday. Cincinnati 10th in batting average, 18th in OPS on the road. The fact that the OPS is so much worse than the batting average, it's kind of lets you know the Reds are liable to strand some base runners. And I could see Tyone getting out of some jams here and there. I think he actually has a pretty solid showing today. At least the line is indicative of that. Brandon Williamson is starting for the Reds. 3.6 ERA, 1.2 whip on the year. I mean, those numbers are, what they are. They're about middle of the pack average, but he's only started 2 games, right? You have a 2-game sample size, and I'm just going to let you know that line is indicative of his ERA going up today. That's my not so bold prediction. I think the Cubs do hit him around. He's a lefty, and the Cubs are hitting lefties really well. They're hitting 281 versus lefties. That's 7th best in the majors. And what's also important when you're doing your research is you have to make sure, okay, yes, they're hitting lefties well on the year, but are they hitting lefties well recently? In their last 3 games, the Cubs are hitting 269 versus lefties, so that shows they're continuing to be effective against them, especially as the season goes on. I don't really care how you hit in April or the beginning of May. I need to know that you're doing it still recently. And after the Cubs are getting shut out for the first time all season yesterday, I expect the Cubs offense to bounce back in a big way today and heat up and hit Williamson around. Now let's talk late game when the bullpens come in. Cubs 23rd in bullpen ERA, the Reds 10th in bullpen ERA. So yes, you do see a discrepancy there, and you see an advantage for the Reds bullpen. But that line, I'm just telling you that I do think the Cubs win this game convincingly. And I think, yes, their bullpen is liable for some runs late game. But I think the damage that they did against Williamson will be great enough for their bullpen to be able to hold that 2-run lead we need to cover this run line. Yes, covering a run line is not an easy thing to do in baseball. I really, for the people starting out and betting baseball, they just bet the -1.5. I don't really understand how hard that is for the home team to cover because there's many opportunities for the road team to backdoor that. So at the end of the day, though, I do think the Cubs win, and I think they win in a big way. Before I go to Austin's pick, I want to talk about a couple of leans that I had and almost picked. One of my almost picks today was the White Sox and Tigers under 9. Look, I guarantee this hits because usually when I'm off and I miss a pick, especially I miss a pick so badly like that, I guarantee it hits the day after. Lorenzen, who's starting for the Tigers today, great ground ball pitcher. His ground ball percentage is near 50%. He's just really good pitch to contact pitcher, which guarantees that the White Sox will definitely score only a couple runs today. I just can't pick it because I can't get wrong by those 2 teams back-to-back days. And then the other pick I had, which was another line read, Royals money line. The line makes no sense. Brady Singer has just been absolutely awful this year. But I think that line is indicative, being a pick'em, that he'll turn it around. And Josiah Gray, I have regression concerns for Josiah Gray. So I do think the Royals money line's a pretty good look today if you're looking for some more picks. But I'm just going to stay for my one official pick. Austin, I need a player prop winner. You've been hot on those. What do you got for us?
Yeah, 11-4 on the season on MLB props. We haven't had a ton of them, but the last two that I returned doing, they've hit. Now, Logan, I got my Cubs jersey on for you to help support you. And while I want to do a Cubs batter, I considered Ian Happ, but I'll let you handle the Cubs. Hopefully they put up a lot of runs for you. But instead, I'm actually going to have a player on the other side. But let's talk about these two guys, Anthony Rizzo and Jonathan India, both to record a hit. That's all we need, a single, and they're good. And that's plus 127 on DraftKings. I probably played it to around minus 105. Now, I've said this time and time again, and I have to keep beating it into everyone's heads because there's new viewers out there. Please, if you can, play this on DraftKings. Don't play this on FanDuel. Now, for starters, this is plus 127 on DraftKings, only minus or plus 109 on FanDuel. I say this to avoid FanDuel for a lot of face props because if a guy pinch hits at the end of the game, maybe they don't start pinch hit, FanDuel's going to grade it as a loss. DraftKings, as long as you pick two players from a different game and don't same game parlay them, then you will get the guys that will void if they potentially don't start. But I'm confident both these two guys are out there in the starting lineups. Now, let's talk about why I like Rizzo and India. Now, for starters, Rizzo's going to start pretty early. So this is a 105, I believe, first pitch. So if you are watching this later on in the afternoon, you can switch it up. I wanted to take a Red Sox, but every Red Sox was a 1.5 on DraftKings. But I think Rizzo can come out here and get us a hit early on in the day. He is batting .330 this month, .305 on the season. So he's been pretty good, and he's batting .367 at home where he finds himself today. Now he's going to go up against the Padres and Michael Wacha. Yesterday, the Yankees really could not get anything going offensively. Judge did get us a double, which we appreciate him for doing that. But you see Rizzo, a lot of plate appearances versus Wacha, .396 batting average in 53 plate appearances. So he's seen him a ton. I did consider Rizzo's over 1.5 hits, runs, and RBIs, which we're sitting at plus 100. However, I'd rather just go to the hit because I look at the guys in front of him. Torres likely going to start, and then Judge are right in front of him. Those guys are combined 1 for 28 versus Wacha. Now, I'm not saying that they're going to go hitless today, so avoid them at all costs. I'd just rather not trust those two guys that haven't really hit Wacha a ton, and so that could be putting up Rizzo into 2 outs, and he's the only guy up the bat with no one on base. So rather just take Rizzo to get a hit. I think you can get that done. Rizzo also has a hit in 6 of his last 7, and you look at Wacha, allows a .250 batting average versus lefties, only .215 versus righties. Rizzo is a lefty. Also, last note, Wacha throws 63% a fastball or a changeup. Those are Rizzo's top 2 pitches to hit. So not a surprise to see Rizzo hit Wacha pretty well. Hopefully he gets us a hit early on in the day. Now, lastly, I'm going to need Jonathan India of the Reds to get a hit. Now, this does conflict a little with Logan's pick, but at the end of the day, Jonathan India is not pitching for the Reds. And he could get 1 hit, and that could be all the hits that the Reds have today, and that's fine with me and fine with Logan as well. But either way, I'm not really worried about them conflicting. Now, I do want to note, if you're on a DraftKings and you're parlaying the picks, be a little bit careful about parlaying, India and the Cubs minus 1.5. There is a chance when you same game parlay on DraftKings that if India didn't play, that and just pinch it at the end of the game, DraftKings does not void it in those same game parlays. But don't worry about that because there's one thing I love about India is that he's played in all 51 games so far for the Reds. Knock on wood. If he gets rested today, then I'll have to throw hands. But I still think that he'll be able to get it done. Now, as Logan talked about yesterday, the Reds scorching hot, 19 hits as a team. India had to have gotten a hit yesterday. No, actually he didn't. He was the one guy on the team that did not get a hit. So I love targeting guys in a bounce back like this, especially if there's all of his teammates were scorched or not. And this is a guy that's going to likely back lead off, maybe back in the 2-3 slot, but he's going to be up there a lot of different times today. And you look at India, batting 283 on the season. He's been really good. Hasn't gone back-to-back games without a hit since April 19th. So love the bounce back spot. And he bats 298 versus right-handed pitchers. Tyone is a righty. So while he could get on base, maybe get a single, I'm not confident that the rest of his teammates really, get it done. But Tyone, like Logan talked about, he isn't a line read. He has struggled, though, recently. No sugarcoating that. 5, 7, and 6 hits allowed in his last 3 starts where he went, 2 2/3, 4 2/3, and 2 1/3 innings pitched. So he's really struggled, but I think he does pitch better today because he's better than that, but that's not saying that he, throws a no-hitter here. I think he can go out there and give us a couple hits. Maybe the Reds' other guys just don't hit him around. I mean, at the end of the day, you got a lot of production from the Reds' bottom half of that order. I don't trust that order to be too consistent. Tyone throws a lot of different pitches, so I don't really want to look at, he throws this pitch. That's what India hits the best. But it is worth noting, 4-seam fastball, curveball, his top 2 pitches that for India to hit, and those are the 2nd and 4th most pitched pitches for Tyone. So I think Anthony Rizzo, Jonathan India, each to record a hit. I love the value at plus 127. Try to put 1 unit to win 1.27. I think it's a good one. Let's try to go 3-0 on props since the return, move our record to 12-4. But Logan, We're trying to go for 3 in a row here. It's Nerfy Nation. You know what time it is. Get the flags out, the music rocking and rolling, and we're hoping to cash another one. And we had a couple different options today, but I like this one, and let's talk about it. Let's dive right in. Giants Brewers taking the no run first inning, 6 quick outs, -125 on Bet365. Reminder, this is the under 0.5 runs in the first inning. You can take a tie if you want to, just don't recommend laying that juice. But let's talk with Corbin Burnes, who's going to start the game. He's 6-4 on no run first innings. Yeah, last year he was much, much better. This year's off to a slow start, but I'm confident he turns it around. He actually already pitched against the Giants once this year. Did Yurfie against them. Now, I believe that one was in San Francisco. This one's at home where he notoriously pitches better. But Giants are an annoying first-inning offense. They're 7th in first-inning runs. Yeah, they put up 15 runs yesterday. I'm here to not-so-bold prediction. The Giants will score less than 15 runs today. And you look at the batters versus Burnes, the guys that are probably going to see him: Lamont Wade, he's 2 for 13. Estrada, who missed yesterday, was out of the lineup, 1 for 10. Conforto, 1 for 9. Yastrzemski, 1 for 10. I can't guarantee all those guys play today, but they're probably all in the top 5. I think Burnes, come out here, get us me those first 3 outs. Who's on the other side, Logan?
Yeah, it's Logan Webb. Great first name, right? Webb, 7-3 on no-run first innings this year. That is a little bit deceiving, though, because he's actually nerfied in 7 straight games after 3 yes-run first innings to start the season. He came out of the gate looking bad. He looked like one of those pitchers that we couldn't really trust for nerfies, but he has really turned it around and been an ally of Nerfy Nation, which is exactly what we need today. The Brewers, 19th in first inning runs. I have no problem, fading the Brewers anytime. They're home run or bust. If Logan Webb does toss a turkey and it gives up the solo home run, I'll just shake my head and say oof. But if you look at the splits versus Webb, Yelich 1 for 5, Tellez 1 for 5, Willy Adames 3 for 6, but he's likely not going to play after a scary injury last night. So if you're looking at the top half of the order of the Brewers, they don't fare all that well versus Logan Webb, and I think he actually is able to induce some pitch to contact out, which is the type of pitcher he is. And the Brewers, as long as he doesn't hang anything up in the zone, hopefully the Brewers aren't able to hit a home run. They've been switching around their lineup, but Tellez might be in the 3 or 4 slot. I don't know. He is a home run threat for sure. If we can get Rowdy Tellez out, I do really like this one. Over under set to 7.5, right in the range we do like to pick him. Nerfy Nation, let's go. Let's fly the flags.
You're right, Logan. Let's fly these flags. 6 quick outs. Cubs -1.5. And then Jonathan India and Anthony Rizzo to get a hit. Let's go 3-0. No parlay of the day, but if you want to sign up for BetMGM, top link in the description. Go check it out. Help support the channel. Let's have a great Saturday. You guys have a great Saturday. We'll see you guys back again tomorrow for Sunday's picks. We'll see you guys then. Peace.